This is Deborah Atkinson, and you're listening to Flipping 50, where I address your top questions and struggles. I share what to eat and how to move and to think to get the energy and vitality you want in this second and better half. And today, I am going solo. I'm answering the question that I'm so frequently asked about the secrets to becoming a regular exerciser. This episode is really inspired, yes, by many of the women and the men that I've privately coached and that have started some of our programs that are a little bit more broad in sense, not just exercise, but about nutrition, about sleep and stress and how they affect hormones. And it's also been inspired by many of our social media fans and followers. This question is asked quite often: how do I become a regular exerciser? And it's a little different than, how do you get motivated? And actually, I'm answering that question because it is so related on the blog on Thursday of this week. So check that out if this line of questions is important to you. But many of those clients who've asked this question, they want to be the one who gets up every day and walks, or who's the regular at the gym. They want to be the one who makes time even when work-related social hours pop up and you have to entertain clients and they're tempted by cocktails that interfere with them getting up then in the morning to get the workout in. They want to be the one who adheres to it no matter what. And it's hard. So here it is. I thought long and hard about how I would lay out the steps to become a regular exerciser. And this is really my top 5. It's what I've done over the years in order to stay regular. Before we get started, I have an announcement. This episode is sponsored by the Stronger program. Flipping 50's brand new program is going to launch this fall. Right now, we have 27 women in our beta group testing it for us, and they're seeing and feeling great results. Then, once they're finished with their 8 weeks, this is the start of week 7 as I'm recording, so they really have just 4 more workouts. All we asked them to do was 2 workouts a week for no more than a total of 90 minutes, and in most cases, it was probably closer to 60 for the whole week. We didn't ask them to change anything else about their lives. And if they did, it was okay, but we asked them not to do any more strength training. I can't wait to see their results. And if you are interested and want to be the first in line for both the results and for the launch of the full program, that announcement will go first to our subscribers on email, where we share some of the juiciest stuff first. And I'll link to how you can do that in our show notes so you can jump right in. And here we go. Number 1, the first secret to become a regular exerciser: I don't make excuses. I grew up in a small town in the middle of the Midwest. I visit frequently. There is no clean food to be found. You've got to make your own. I travel frequently. I take food with me and often a blender. I stop for groceries. I ask about refrigerators in the hotel room. I let my host know where there are foods that don't agree with me, and I let them know I would be happy to pitch in to do something else. I will get up early before a speech, a travel day, or following one of my son's golf tournaments, or a conference to get some fresh air and some physical activity. And I was a single mom working 2 jobs, publishing a book, training for triathlons. I spent hours upon hours following my son around a golf course, driving to out-of-state tournaments and fielding phone calls from over 20 staff members and thousands of club members as a personal training director, and then responded to hundreds of my students in my university courses. I understand obstacles. You can either look at them as excuses, why not now, or as reasons why now is absolutely the time and you need it more. Number 2, I take care of my own needs. I'll excuse myself early to go to bed because I'm a morning person and I know I can't do both late and early and function at my best. And that helps me get the rest I need so that I can get up and feel like exercising even when the shortest time shows up. But that means, I'm in a group at a mastermind meeting with 10 of my best friends, and sitting around the table, I'm the one who has to get up and say, okay, y'all, I'm going to bed. And I do. I've learned that that's really important in order for me to stay on routine, stay feeling my best, even if it means I miss a half an hour or an hour of, what is a ton of fun and spending great quality time with people I love. I let house guests know I wake up early and I might be making noise in the kitchen before dawn or out on a run when they get up, and they can help themselves. I respect others' needs and expect the same. If it makes someone uncomfortable or they don't respect my needs, I don't spend a lot of time with them. It's just at that point in my life where I know what I need, and it's not about being polite or impolite. It's not about being high maintenance or low maintenance. It's just about knowing this is what I need and politely demanding that you get it. Number 3, I know the difference between opportunities and best for me choices. At conferences, you could start your day earlier with breakfast sessions before the conference actually gets started. You could do meetings at breaks. You could stay late after the party. And it's all in the name of connecting with people and networking with people you love and you want to collaborate with. But all of it is simply too much, at least for me. I love being on stage. I love being in groups. I love interacting. And yet I recharge by myself. So you need to know who you are. I choose my priorities so I can keep the downtime to recharge between activities. I remember just last week I was at a conference and there was a great breakfast session. So the full session started at 8:30. There was a breakfast session that was either at 7 or 7:30 before. And, that's typically when I would get up and I'd still be out for a walk or a run or in the gym and recharging. So I had some sunlight, some movement for sitting, all day or walking around in high heels. And a friend of mine asked, are you going to go? Because we both were really interested in the same topic and the presenter was amazing. And I just said, nope, not going, not doing it. And, it was a great opportunity, but I'm glad I made the choice I made because I felt better for it. When I'm traveling to an Ironman race, there are opportunities to do swims and do rides with different groups, to do shakeout runs and, others seemingly doing them all. I know I have to stick to my plan and not be caught up in the opportunity to do what others are doing. And that's an extreme when we're talking about training for an Ironman and, as if you have to stay regular exercising when you're doing that, but you do. You can't color outside the lines. You can't just go and do this or that because it can change your race and your energy level. I don't join a lot of groups that bike ride or that run or swim because then I would end up doing somebody else's workout instead of following my own workout plan. There are times when it's a fit and there's a reason to be with others who might push you because they're a little bit faster, just a little bit better than you. But most often you need to plan your work and workouts and then work the plan. That's how you progress and you get better. A single coach may be better than, say, a group fitness program with 90 random classes available to you. Are they what you really need? How would you know? Okay, just a mini advertisement. So back to the Stronger program. I want to tell you a little bit more about what it's about and about why we developed it. The Stronger program is based on research featuring women who are in anywhere from perimenopause, menopause to postmenopause. And that means basically till you die, right? So that's postmenopause in a big way. And there are only about 39% of all sports medicine and exercise science research done featuring female subjects. And so, if you and I looked at optimistically the number of, or the percent of studies that used women in perimenopause and older than that, it's probably, let's say, 50%. That might be optimistic, but that means there's only 20% or less of research out there that's used to develop programs that your trainer has read in textbooks and in trainings that's dedicated to you, unless it specifically says so. It's a lot like gluten-free. I have clients a lot of times say, well, is this gluten-free? Is this gluten-free? And they're asking about a specific product, or they're asking, say, about oatmeal. And the answer is, if it's not labeled gluten-free, it's not. And that's because at this point, everybody knows we're looking for it. So marketers are using that. But in the case of a study or a program, if it doesn't say made for, built for specifically women in midlife, in perimenopause and beyond, then it's not. And the challenge is, most often, subjects in studies are males, and very often they're fit males in their 20s. That's not always the case, and things are changing, but women are used much less than men, even over the age of 50, when they are put in studies. Every one of the Stronger workouts, and there will be 12 complete workouts, are using and applying the rules of studies that are done using and featuring women in perimenopause and menopause. So if a program or protocol, meaning the way you lift weights, whether it's the repetitions, the number of sets, the speed, the sequence, if a protocol is designed for somebody but not for you, and it says it's a big fat burner, we really don't know if that's true for women in midlife or not, because we're so susceptible to the negative effects of stress. HIIT, high intensity interval training, doesn't do the same thing for a woman in midlife as it might for a 20-something male who's in great shape. So be thinking about that and about your need. If you haven't been seeing results, don't throw the towel in. Throw yourself into the ring where there's actually a program developed for you and by you. I'm 54. I am you. I get it. Hormones change the rules. Okay, let's go on. Number 4, I set goals. I completely have a goal all the time. A new one. As soon as a race is over, I'm setting a new goal. Now, it might be that for a month, I'm not going to do any structured workouts. It might be that for a month, I'm going into recovery and I'm only going to do 20-minute workouts, and I'll do 1 or 2 a day, meaning I might do a 20-minute interval training, I might do a 20-minute weight workout, but then I'm done. Or I might do 40 minutes of yoga, but I rarely don't have a focus. Since I was 31 and I trained for my first marathon, I've set big goals so that I train with purpose. I don't train for toned arms or a flat belly. You know, those are benefits of focusing on specific goals. First, for me, it was marathons. I had done a couple 5Ks, 10Ks, but, I really didn't like it. But a marathon held a little intrigue for me, and I loved it. And then it was short triathlons. I did a couple sprints. I did maybe one Olympic distance. That's just a little bit longer. And then that's it. I like long and slow. I like endurance. I'm doing Ironman. The difference in mindset when you're training for a goal is dramatic. Exercise is something random without a specific reason or deadline. Goals I set revolve around life experiences I want, and often around people I want in my community or communities I want to be a part of. The triathlon community, for instance, is open arms and embraces beginners and newbies, probably with more gusto even than it does pros. Because, beginners need something, and beginners are quote unquote virgins. And it is so fun to watch what happens, that transformation of a beginner to a triathlete, to someone who adopts the lifestyle. Triathlon is really not just about training for race day. It's just about a healthier way of living. So when you start training like that, you start changing the way you eat. You start changing the way you rest and the way that you sleep. And it changes everything, including your results. Number 5 is a fun one, but here it is. I can relax without exercise. So it's really a statement, right? But the thing is, I don't rely on it being exercise. I don't stress about it. I do feel better when I exercise regularly, but I also know the value of days off, and I take them. That plays right back into the motivation to exercise. You miss it. You like it. You feel recharged because you don't do it. And here's why this one's so important. So often we get caught up in having to do it daily. And the people I know who do this only miss because they're sick. And they get sick frequently because partially they don't take days off. Or they get burnt out or injured. And they stop seeing results and they quit because the attitude is, it doesn't really matter what I do. I don't see progress. And that's true if you're not taking rest, because rest, especially after 50 for sure, and even 40 is where the research starts to point to the fact that we need more rest and recovery. We don't have to work less hard, but we need more rest and recovery between our work in order for us to have as good as results as we did when we were in our 30s. And we can look and feel that good or better depending on where you were when you were 30, as long as you rest. And that's it. That's my 5. Those are the ways that you can become a regular exerciser. And you might share those. Or if I'm preaching to the choir and you're listening, you're already there. Think about someone you know who might also need to hear this. Reflect on how true are these things for you. And I'm going to put below the show link the link to register at Flipping 50 so you can be one of the first to know about the Stronger launch so that you can turn in your holiday season looking and feeling amazing after becoming a regular exerciser who does strength training twice a week. If you have a question, leave it below the show at flipping50.com. I love hearing from you. And if this episode was helpful at all or resonated with you, leave a rating, please, in iTunes, and then share it with a friend. Surround yourself with a supportive community of women on the same journey. To get the most from this week's episode, don't forget to check out today's show notes and the link to join our email list to be among the first to hear about Stronger. That's launching this fall, and it'll be sometime mid-September that we are ready to enroll. Flipping50.com/podcast is where you'll find all the juicy downloads, all of the previous episodes, and the resources that we've mentioned on any show, just like a blog. What are you waiting for? Let's start Flipping 50 together.